Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about the Colossals. Now, lots of people seem to not know what the Colossals are about, so today I'm going to explain what the Colossals are and what precisely we do know about them, what happened between the continents and the natural islands, because that's something that people don't really tend to know, I believe, so I thought it'd be cool to make a video on it. Anyway, let's get started. So, the Mirror Islands Colossals, as you can see. Oh, first of all, we need to explain what Colossals are, don't we? So, Colossals are, of course, the sort of, like, the beings of the islands below. So, these eyes you can see on screen now, these eyes are from the Colossal of this Mirror Plant Island. So, now let's go on over to the actual Plant Island, and it looks a bit different, this one. So let's just have a look. Now, of course, we do know that the Mirror Islands are sort of a different dimension to the natural islands, but of course these are two different Colossals in itself. So, as you can see there, the goggles on each... Well, they are sort of goggles, aren't they? The goggles on sort of each island are the Colossals. Now, these are sort of monsters in themselves. Sort of. I mean, we don't know really what they look like below, but in Furcon's Jelly Dreams we did get a bit of a hint. Now, of course, Furcon's Jelly Dreams was a game set in Furcon's dreams, so naturally we didn't really get, you know, a full sort of look at it, because it's technically just Furcon's dreams. Now I'm just going to pull this up so I can actually see now. Now, from here we actually can see there's no mouth or anything down below, it's just these eyes and that's it. And this nose. And if we go on, let's go on Earth Island, for example. Let's have a look. I've got on Earth Island. We go down below, we can see the nose in game. Now, I don't think it looks exactly like that down below. I think this because, well, for one, it's Furcon's dream. It's not really realistic. It's the only look we've had at the lower down part of a Colossal, and perhaps it's the only look that Furcon's ever had, for all we know. Because Furcon just stays on island, doesn't he? He doesn't go adventuring off to Emerald Island, does it? Or Water Island, no. So, what I think is, I think the Colossals have a mouth. I think that they do. Anyway, that's besides the point, isn't it? In a previous video, my top 5 things I want for anniversary, I mentioned that I would like the Colossals to come in game, because that would be such a cool feature. Hearing the Colossals perhaps take part in the song, that would just be amazing, to be fair, wouldn't it? Anyway, now we are going to look at the exceptions of Colossals. Of course, you can view the Colossals yourself, and then we are going to discuss the Dawn of Fire sort of subject around it, and how the continent came to be the natural islands sitting and binding with the Colossals that we know today. So, down below on Composer Island, however, the Colossal actually opens their eye up. So, if we just wait down here, they should open their eye up very soon. Now, this is really cool, isn't it? So, because of the Composer Island Colossal, look, opening their eye up, we know that the Colossals are alive, don't we? They're not just there, they are actually living beings. So it would make sense for them to somehow, you know, make up energy to perhaps bring around the nature on top, or the cold lands, or whatever it is, the magma, or the lava. Perhaps the energy that it provides to itself is the energy that provides the whole assets to the islands. Of course, that's a theory in itself, isn't it? But I do think it has a mouth, and I think the oxygen supply is perhaps what provides this, and I just want there to be a mouth, okay, because that would be so cool, and I want an update with featuring the Colossals. That would just, oh, that is just perfect in my mind. Let's have a look on Celestial Island as well. So on Celestial Island, look down here, the Colossal is interesting, isn't it? And of course, on each island, we have a critter, which accompanies each island colossal. So they live inside the colossals, so perhaps we could also say that there's inhabitants inside each colossal. Now, we do know that the whole Firelands exist within, where are we? Tribal Island, inside here. Down here, there's tons of caves and all sorts of stuff. And then, also, let's go on over to Firehaven. Now, we know outside Firehaven sits within a volcano structure. So, I mean, there must be different varieties of colossals as well to withstand these high temperatures. And then, of course, we have Fire Oasis. Now, Fire Oasis's colossal was just completely manufactured. Like, the monsters completely made it themselves, didn't they? So that in itself is interesting. I mean, Fire Oasis is sort of an exception. Now, we do know that the monsters made this. Now, Fire Oasis and Fire Haven do have one eye each. So, these are the only islands that actually have one island each. And if we... Oh, wait. I actually wanted to point this out. If we look down here, we can actually see some sort of arms popping out from the Fire Haven Colossal. Once again, like, this is saying to me... Look, I am alive, I can move. Now, of course, we don't see the hands move, but, you know, you know what, I just want an update with the Colossals. It would just be so cool if we could zoom out a bit more, and then just go down, and then, oh, if there was some kind of unlocking feature to unlocking the Colossals, oh my god, that would be glorious. Okay, now let's go on over to Dawn of Fire, because I actually want to go over to Dawn of Fire to be able to say what precisely happened to the Colossals from the continent to the natural islands, because of course there must have been some kind of process in which the Colossals binded to the islands. So, when the continent began to break apart, the Colossals bound their spirits to the lands, forming the natural islands. That is as far as the sort of description goes in the My Singing Monsters wiki. Oh dear, I can't talk today. But yes, I mean, we have seen the sort of memorial cave paintings, and they have revealed the formation from the continent to the natural islands. Now we know that the continent drifted apart. So naturally we can now know from that and the description and what we know, like what the comments that have been made, that the Colossals did indeed bind to the natural islands. Now, of course, we do not know how far this goes with Fire Oasis, because Fire Oasis is a completely different equation. That was not naturally there. That was manufactured. And whether that's the same as other islands is completely up for debate, because the other ones were found, they weren't made, and yes, that just makes sense, doesn't it? So the Colossals bind to the islands. Now, whether this is a sort of relationship between the islands, and whether the islands, like, how should I put it? If the Colossals have to, like, if they want to be there, or is it just a sort of relationship where the Colossal just doesn't have any input and they are just kind of placed there? I think that's sort of an aspect that perhaps needs to be realmed into. That would probably be definitely a good question from my streaming monsters, the My Singing Monsters live stream, even. Oh my goodness, I really cannot talk today. Okay, right. No, but seriously, right, the Colossals, right? They each have a unique critter. We've been through that. We've been through the Dawn of Fire process now. And also we've looked at the Mirror Islands and we've been over all that now. So I think we are just about done today. Before we go, however, I just want to visit the Mirror Islands once more to just bring attention to the fact that these Colossals are indeed from a different dimension, remember, sort of different dimensions than actual natural islands. But if we look at these, they have a purple ooze over them. Now, obviously the purple ooze has been, well, the purple ooze, like, has had tons of theories by now, and like the teleporter and, you know, the Wonder Mine look over here and what it all means, but all, like, obviously this is more remains from the actual genuine continent. And we have seen like cave paintings pointing out that this ooze was not there when the continent broke apart. So there was no like end game, there was no war, it was there. It must have formed with the Colossal and then it must have been there originally. So I think it would be interesting to find out what actually happened to the Colossal before that binding between the island. Because it must have, unless before it was discovered this happened and it was already binded, because the Mirror Islands have only been discovered for quite, like, not as long as the natural islands. So yeah, we are definitely done for today. This has been an incredibly long video. I had a lot to talk about with the Colossals, so I hope you've discovered something perhaps interesting today. If you have, be sure to hit the like button and the notification bell to get instant notifications from when I post a video. I have never mentioned that, I don't think. Oh wait, yeah, I have. I mentioned it the other day, I think. Well, not the other day, like 3 months ago. Well, do it anyway if you want. Bye, guys!